What's going on, guys? Neil Guides here. Welcome back to another video. In today's video I got the showing you how to use and what tactics and instructions to use for the 4-2-3-1. It's probably the best formation, the most meta formation this year, but the tactics I've devised will probably get you the most wins. The good thing about the 4-2-3-1 is it's so stable defensively. Maybe it's not the most fun formation to use, but it's definitely the most stable formation. Will get you the most amount of wins. You can use with any team. I use this team, as you can see in front of your screen right now, 15k team. I've got an Elite 3 with this team. You can do it with any team. That's the whole idea. You can play any style of football, whether it's tiki-taka, whether you want to play a certain crossing style or abusing mechanics. Everything should work. So I just want to quickly say why the 4-2-3-1. You see, the 4-2-3-1 is a different formation in compared to other formations. I mean, if we look at it this year, it's been a bit more adapted. It's a bit more, I would say, stable. You kind of have your two CDMs, you have your three cams, and the good thing is, of course, you know, up against wide formations, you do have your left attacking mid and your right attacking mid able to come back, so you don't get doubled up against your position. The good thing why I like this the most, it becomes a four striker formation. When you're attacking, or when you're on a counter attack, or when you have the ball, all your four strikers, they all run forward. So it basically becomes a four striker formation. Now this is obviously amazing because if you're up against four defenders and you're in behind the CDMs, it's basically 4 against 4. So that's why it's so good, because when you're attacking, it becomes a four striker formation, and your CDMs, they kind of move up and kind of become a centre mids or kind of playmakers in the centre mid region. That's why it's a really good formation. Also, I like the fact that in the 4-2-3-1, in comparison to the 4-2-3-1 second variation, the players are very close together. You can do a very good tiki-taka, which I like to do a lot with this team. They're all very close. There's quite close knit triangles, which is very efficient to do with this formation. You know, tiki-taka is also very prevalent now, I think, and it's probably the most fun way of playing, in my opinion, where you get the most fulfillment. Another thing which is really good about this formation is the wing play. The reason why I like this formation is you can decide on the fly whether you want to play wing play or do you want to play down the middle. Now I personally always go down the middle. I don't cross the ball in at all. I always like to shoot. But with this formation you can do the same thing. The key is, it's like what I like to call almost the wings. So I like to say the triangle wings basically. And what that is the triangles between the CDM, your winger, and your right back or your left back. Your fullbacks, your CDMs, and your wingers have such good triangles because from there you can go either to the middle or you can stay out wide. I personally like to start the attack and break down the defense through the wings first, and then I like to come inside and play the deep triangles with my CDMs, with my attackers. That's why I think it's probably a really good formation, a very underrated formation in that way. Here's just some clips example, just showing you how I use the wing play just to get into the final third. You can see just a simple combination of 1-2 passes can get into your opposition's half. We know now everyone's defending directly in the middle now, so the best way to get past on the wings. You know, I kind of got this from Tex. You know, Tex, I always saw he broke down his opponents from the wing, and the reason why he's such a good player is because he can do the skills. He has the arsenal of skills to get from the wing position into the box. That's why he's such a good player. Going into straight the tactics and the formation, but before I do so, the reason why I like this formation as well is so versatile. You can change many things, you know, because you have the two DMs. You can obviously, you know, make one guy on balance, so you can make one guy go forward. You can change anything on a fly. To go straight into the tactics, first of all, drop back is what I use. I don't really play defensive. I actually play very, very attacking football if you watch my streams, even with my 15k team. But I use drop backs. I don't get caught. The reason is when you lose the ball, you don't want to get counter attacked. That's kind of the one thing. You want defensive stability. The good thing with this formation is the 4-2-3-1 is quite compact. So when you're defending, the wing backs kind of tuck inside, not to the center, but they kind of stop you getting doubled up, and the cam kind of bees a player in the middle, just kind of just stop the balls coming or stop the through balls or the balls getting played in the middle. With drop back, you don't want to get countered. As you can see footage here, you can see when I get the ball back, I get the ball back and counter attack immediately. But the key is you don't want to get countered. That's why I play drop back. Now width, I prefer 5 width. Pre-patch in December, if you see my previous videos, I've actually used 1 or 2 width or even 3. That's because people used to finesse majority in, you know, in the kind of, you can say, the penalty arc. But of course, now it's much more relevant. Now, hardly anyone finesses because obviously that's been nerfed into the ground. You kind of want 5 depth because you kind of want your fullbacks to be occupying the wing positions. You don't want an opposition to play like a through ball down the wing. We all know how OP crosses are, and sometimes crossing, or most of the time, crossing is more efficient than going into the box and scoring a 1v1. So you want to avoid the alternated crosses from those angles. That's why you want a bit higher width. So I think 5 is a good width. By the way, these tactics and instructions, I've been practicing and devising this for a long time and working out the perfect tactic which can work for everyone. Depth 3, I think probably this is the best. Even when I attack, so the good thing with this formation is, as I said, the wing play is really efficient. So you want your players to be deep into your own half. I don't mean deep as in parking the bus. I just mean a bit more relaxed and reserved in your half. So when you are attacking, you have all this space of your position to exploit. So I'll show you, for example, a clip here. As you can see, because I'm sitting a bit more further in my half, it actually creates more space in my opposition's half. So it's really good to get the ball from the kind of, you can say, from your goalkeeper, all the way to your striker. It's really good that way. Offensive style is a long ball. Now you're probably going to be thinking, well, why long ball? Well, balance is probably the best. But the truth is, many of you watching this video, maybe you might not be the best of players, or maybe you won't be the top tier players. Now, the most of the top tier players, they kind of use L1 or left back on an Xbox to trigger plays to make runs and behinds. I got a video on this. But with long ball, you don't have to do that, because long ball essentially makes the players run forward for you. That's why when you see when I collapse into a 4-striker formation, because I'm on long ball, everyone run forward. So it doesn't mean I'm just doing a long ball from my centre back it behind. It just means I'm doing a ball forward and players running it behind. It's a bit better than fast build-up play, because with fast build-up play, I tend to find that your players do seem to run out of position too much. They tend to push forward way too much, and you find that if you do not score the goal, what happens is most cases you lose the ball and you're actually going to get counter-attacked. So long ball provides the perfect balance between players running forward and defensive stability, because that's what you want. The key is, just remember this, you can always outscore your opponent, but you can't out-defend your opponent. Just remember that in that respect. So it's important that attack is still there. Now, width and players in the box, I think, to be honest, 6 is the best balance. As I said, with width, if you find, as you can see from the clips, I think I play quite a wide style. You can reduce this if you want, but I think this is the best. To be honest, it's not even that wide on 6, because naturally it's quite a compact formation. But if you still think that 6 width is not enough, use hug the sidelines. You've probably seen me in the game use hug the sidelines, a D-pad, quick tactic to spread out your players, stop you getting pressed very easily. Players in the box, again, 6, perfect balance. You don't want to commit too many players in this box, because people are parking the bus on 1 depth now, and you want a couple of players outside the box so you can pass to. Problem is, when you have, like, for example, 8, you only have 1 guy outside the box. There's 2 reasons why that's bad. 1 is kind of bad because he's the only outlet player that you have. And 2, with the 4-3-1, you have 2 centre mids. You kind of want your centre mids to be standing in this kind of position, so an advanced attacking position. So when you do lose the ball, you won't get counter-attacked, and also you'll have good chances to pass around part the bus, is what I recommend. That's why I recommend 6. Corners and free kicks, adjust them to however you will. To be honest, I pass my corners, but I wouldn't go any more than 3, to be honest. Going in 4 is going to counter-attack territory where you don't want to go into, because you're going to get counter-attacked if you do not capitalize on your opportunities. As I said, it's such a good formation. Instructions: stay forward on my strike and get in behind, so he makes his runs in behind. Stay forward on my cam. So it's kind of similar to the 4-2-2. The reason why this formation is so good is because in a 4-2-2 you kind of have 2 strikers alongside each other, and I think the problem is that they're just too close in the vertical line. But in a 4-2-3-1, you have the perfect balance, as you can see from a clip here, is the cam is just behind the striker, almost like a centre forward role. So it's a 4-striker formation, but you have the outlet play, which is the cam, which is what makes the formation really good. So stay forward on my cam and stay forward on my striker and get in behind. So it's almost like a 4-4-1-1. If you kind of think about it to some respect, it is kind of like a 4-4-1-1, you could say. Now, for the left attacking mid and right attacking mid, you kind of want them on completely balanced. The reason why I don't recommend stay forward is because sometimes you find that wing plays and alternators are so prevalent. You kind of want these players to be tracking back. You kind of want them running back and helping, just so your fullbacks don't get doubled up on when you get counter-attacked. And plus, don't forget, you want these players to be in positions where they can run in behind. If they're always on stay forward, they can't really run in behind us, that they'll be offside, if that makes sense. So you kind of want them a bit further back. So asking to be on balance allows them to come back on defense, defend, and then they can make runs in behind, especially the long ball tactic. CDMs, both of them on cut passing lanes, cover center, and stay back while attacking. As I said, the center mids kind of go in advance in the mid roles when you're attacking, so that's not a problem. But when you're defending, it's perfect because you don't need to use cover the wings. To tell you why I don't have to use cover the wings, it's because you have both your lamb and your ram both on balance, so they're going to come back on defense. So that's the benefit, because they're going to come back on defense and provide support when needed. You can have both your CDMs on stay central to cover the middle and provide defensive support. With the fullbacks, I put them on stay back, but as I said, with this formation, because it's so versatile, you can adjust it. So if you're losing, you can put, for example, your fullback on during the attack or balanced, and you can adjust it however you want. I think that's what the key thing with this formation is. This can basically adapt. It's almost like in some respect, I think this could be any formation. It could be a 4-3-3. If you have, for example, your cam and you put him on, let's say, on come back on defense with a high work rate, it essentially becomes a 4-3-3. You can basically say you have your two CDMs and your center, your cam becomes almost like a center mid when you come back defense, and then you have the three players up front. So it's kind of like a 4-3-3 variant. The same thing is if you put for example, your cams on come back on defense, it ends up becoming almost like a 4-4-1-1, so, or 4-4-2. So it actually gives you a lot of options. You can change this formation however you seem fit. If, for example, you're struggling to get a goal, just simply, if you have someone like Kullet or you have a player that's a bit more attacking, have one guy like Kante, for example, stay back, and one guy, put him on balanced, so he will go forward. So not only would you have your 4-striker formation, you'll have another guy running deep from midfield, so kind of like in how Aaron Ramsey does in real life. It's such a good formation. I highly recommend just to try this formation. Just give it a chance. You will see it works wonders. Ask anyone in the comment section, anyone on my stream. Most people play these tactics that I devised. It's been working for people for all ranges, whether you're top 100, elite player, gold, silver, whatever. I hope you enjoyed this video, guys. If you have any questions, let me know in the comment section down below. Thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you in the next one.